Well, over half of all South African women are reporting high stress levels than a year ago, and over 40% say they are feeling burnt out. In fact, it's estimated that working mothers spend 3.5 hours per day doing household and childcare duties. This is in addition to grueling career obligations. While Vanesha Palani from Nedbank says a valuable gift for Mother's Day is helping women take more control over their busy lives and guidance on how to manage their finances better. She joins us in the studio to share some of these nuggets with us this morning. I think the church can say amen to that one, Vanesha, but thank you so much and welcome to the South African Morning.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Good morning to all the listeners and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you too. You know, when we're speaking here about financial freedom as well as some of the power that we've got when it comes to women as well, and the way that they handle their households, how they handle themselves, I wonder if we actually do take a moment to reflect on how these women do it all, you know, to be a caregiver, wash and clean and cook, then have to go to work, come back, look after the kids, do the homework, make sure that everybody's tucked into bed, still be a wife. It just sounds like a lot of work for one day, doesn't it?
Just listening to it is tiring, so I can't imagine doing it, right?
But how do women actually navigate this path? Because a lot of them are actually reporting stress and being burnt out.
Absolutely. I mean, it just, you know, as you go through the whole list, you know, it can be really stressful. If you think about managing a career as well and not just a family, that's even more stressful. So managing your finances shouldn't add to that. We know that women are the backbone of society, right? They raise a nation. Many of us have been raised by mums, grannies and all of that. So managing your finances can set you up personally in a great state, but also enable you to manage your family and your family's financial future better. There's definitely some things you can do. I mean, we all talk about, I mean, I don't have to tell women about how to make a little go a long way. Women are masters at doing that, but there are definitely some basic things that you can do and able to build a strong financial future. The first thing, and sometimes it's easier said than done, is just listing what you're earning versus what you're spending. And that, starting with the budget, and just, you know, every time I personally list what I spend, I get shocked. And there's definitely things I can cut back on. So I always say to people, start with that first. Be really conscious about what you're spending. Try to take control of that. Cut back. And I know we're all stressed financially, but cutting back even a little bit can make such a huge difference. Then make sure you pay yourself. And when I say you pay yourself, make sure you can save at least something every month. Put that away, let it accumulate. Now we talk about, you know, putting the budget and all of that stuff in place, but then make sure you're conscious about putting a goal and saving towards that goal. Because if you don't think about this every day and you don't obsess about it, it's never going to happen. So slow and steady wins the race, so definitely do that. But, you know, as I talk about, you know, putting money away, you got to make sure that this money can work for you. Now, you know, we all try to earn more, and women, you know, as you say, managing households, little time for hobbies, but a lot of the time we can make money from those few hobbies that we have. So monetize them. You know, we're sewing, cooking, doing many things. You can actually make money from that. And in the days of social media, it's amazing. You can reach marketplaces and whatever and sell your products fairly easily. So I encourage women to think about how they could earn extra income. Now, while we talk about that, we talk about kind of passive income, make sure that the money you earn grows for you. Choose the right products and services. You know, don't put it under a pillow, don't put it under a mattress. It's not going to grow. So make sure you find the right product for you. Now, at Nedbank, for example, we have fantastic products that can help you grow that money. We have, for example, a product like Just Invest, which is a 24-hour notice product, and you can get interest up to 8.25%. Now, your money doesn't have to be locked away forever. Within 24 hours, you can get access to that. But what it means is, while you're not using it, that money is growing. So make sure your money works for you. Make sure you choose the right products and services.
You know, some of these nuggets, I mean, they're so helpful, you know, but I think it also goes into financial literacy and the psychology of money. And I want us to get into this, Vanesha, especially for women, right? A lot of times women struggle to even say, I am worth having money.
Yeah.
You know, and then on the back of that, women also struggle with, once I've got the money, what do I then do with it? But also having a control, a sense of control over their finances. You and I were actually having a conversation off air about how a patriarchal system has also allowed women to perhaps leave the control of money and the finances and the household to the man. So if anything should happen, whether it's a death or a divorce, all of a sudden this woman is left having to pay for municipal bills that she's never touched for 20, 30 years on odd, and now she has to inherit these bills and she doesn't know where to start. How important is financial literacy and maybe the re-engineering of our financial psychology?
Absolutely, it's so important. I mean, it's so important taking control, and it doesn't mean, you know, eliminating other people in the family, but know exactly, you know, what you're spending on as a family, right? And I mean, we've spoken about just knowing things like what municipal bills, you know, how much your rent or your bond is, how much your car is. I think it's really important to know that. I also think women need to be independent in terms of having their own bank account.
Ooh,
I mean, very
I think
often
even slowly. Women need to be what?
Have their own bank account
That is
and their own savings and their own investment account. And I mean, it's really important because very often, I mean, I think, you know, even you know, among some of my friend network and whatever, a lot of the time people don't have their own bank account. You know, they have joint bank accounts, and I'm like, oh, guys. so I think, you know, just start having your own bank account and managing that, right? And it's not just, I mean, I've spoken about things that women can do to be financially independent, about the budgeting or whatever, but have your own bank account, save your own money, you know, make sure that you have something that's yours. Know exactly where all these bills are, because someday you may be alone and, you know, hope and never get to that state, but you're going to have to be able to manage that. I talk about not just the bank account, but have your own savings account, have your own investment account. And when I talk about pay yourself, it's really about putting that money away for you so that you can have a solid future. And I think we talk about things like financial literacy. I mean, I talk about budget. People think, oh, but that's obvious. I can tell you 90% of people don't even have a budget out there. So just start simple. And then when I talk about savings, just put a little bit, you know, away every month. So yeah, I think financial literacy and independence is super important.